Hello, everybody. Welcome back to our Meet the Dean series. As we mentioned before, we want to recognize the time that we're in when we're not able to meet face to face or person to person. So we wanted to go ahead and continue with our Zoom series of the Meet the Dean series and talk with Dr. Enrico Pontelli. Now, Dr. Pontelli is the Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences here at New Mexico State University, and he's going to tell us about some of the things that they get to do when it comes to the largest college here at New Mexico State University. So with that, I bring to you Dr. Enrico Pontelli.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, my name is Ernico. I've been actually at New Mexico State University since 1992. So it's been a long time because I was a student here. I actually came to NMSU to do my PhD. I graduated with my PhD in computer science in 97. And then I was hired as a faculty. So I moved to the ranks in the Department of Computer Science. I served for 4 years as the department head of computer science. And then I came to the dean's office, associate dean, and then eventually became the dean of arts and sciences. So it's been a moving through the ranks, and it has been a great experience because it really allowed me to see a progressively bigger picture about what is New Mexico State University. When you're a student, you see your department, your program, your faculty. Then when you become the department head, you see a little bit more, you talk to other departments more. Then when you get to the college, you start getting a much, much bigger picture. I came to NMSU from Italy. I did my undergraduate in Italy, and then I wanted to have a different experience, so I came to the States. It was a great move. I love NMSU. Obviously, I've been here so long, and I think it's a great institution, great faculty, great students.
Thanks, Dean. So to kind of get a little bit of understanding, how is the dean's office structured in the College of Arts and Sciences?
We have actually a relatively small office compared to the size of our college. So I'm serving as the dean. There are two associate deans that have very specific duties. Dr. Lakey is in charge of academics, which means anything that deals with the curriculum, with courses, with scheduling, with students. So for example, when we have student issues, Dean Lakey is the one that is going to handle it at the first step. And then we have another associate dean who is Dean Murphy, who is responsible for research. So anything that has to do with research goes to Associate Dean Murphy. We do have three specialists in my office that deals with the different aspects of the operation of the college. One person is in charge of HR. One person is in charge of student retention, all the activities that are related to help students staying at NMSU and moving forward in a positive manner. And then we have a team member that is in charge of recruitment. So she goes out and deals with the recruitment of students. She goes to the various fairs. She sends material to the prospective students. She helps with the orientation sessions and all these things. We do have some additional team members. We do have one person who is in charge of IT for the entire college, Michael Lopez, great guy. We have one person that is in charge of scholarships. We have a lot of departments, and we do have a lot of scholarships in the college. So she oversees making sure that all the money are spent, they're given out to the students. And then we have two business managers that helps with accounting and managing the books and making sure that we don't do bad things with our funds. So we are a relatively small office compared to the fact that we have 26 units under the college. We have 24 academic departments, plus we have the two ROTC programs that are in our college.
And yeah, like you mentioned, it's the largest college. So, on that, what does the dean get to do when it comes to the day to day or some of the things that you get to do?
I knew my department head, but that was it. I didn't have an understanding that the departments are part of colleges, and there is a dean that oversees the college. We're really here mostly to help faculty and help students. That's really the main mission that I see of a dean. So every time there are issues, like for example, we have situations where students need some help, I don't know, to go to a conference, or maybe they're encountering problem in building their schedule. So we're the next level to actually help solving problems. Faculty members that may need some type of resources, we're here to help the faculty member being able to actually get what they need in order to do their job. So I really see my office as the office that helps everybody else be successful. We have amazing departments. We have amazing faculty in our college. So I really don't need to get in the way of the work that they're doing. They're already doing a great job. my role here is to making sure that everybody's successful.
And when it comes to students utilizing your area, what's the best way that they can go about that?
Yeah, that's a great question, and I think part of that is uh, realize that we're, sometimes we may be seen as, okay, like the principal office, right? So you go to the principal office because you're in trouble. Instead, it's exactly the opposite. You go to the principal office, which is the dean's office, when you actually need help. So, one of the advantages of being the dean's office is the fact that we have a pretty broad view of the university, of all the resources that are available in the university. So we are very good in helping people find where they can get help. So, if a student, for example, is confused, they don't know where to get an answer to a certain question, they should actually use the dean's office for that purpose, because we may not have the answer to the question, but we know who has the answer, so we can actually help making the connection. So really, students should be seeing the dean's office as a place where they can get assistance where they don't know where to get assistance, and that's really, again, the role that I've been trying to push our office to assume is the role of helping faculty, helping staff, helping students.
And is there any kind of misconceptions of the office at the
It's
moment?
always something that we all need. Faculty need resources to do their work. Students need resources to stay in school, to be able to travel to a conference, to do field work. I would really love students to see our office as a place where they can come and discuss this kind of needs and help and allow us to help them solving those problems. Now, I cannot promise that we're going to have infinite resources that we can help every single student, but we do have some resources. And so, for example, uh, until last year, every student who didn't have less than $1,000 owed to the university could not sign up for courses. So one of the things that my office did, we went out, we connected with our network of alumni, and we fundraised to create a pool of money to help students that are in that situation. And we got an amazing response because people out there want to help students. So that's another role that we try to take, is to connect students with the outside world. We do have potential employers that come and reach out to us to try to look for students with certain type of skills. We do have a large network of alumni. So if you think about, we have 26 units, we have produced a lot of students that graduated. And a lot of them had a great experience at NMSU and they want to give back. So to me, that's actually one of the most satisfying experiences, when I was able to travel and go and meet alumni out across the US. And first of all, listen to their story is always so refreshing, because they have very fond memories of their experience at NMSU. But then the fact that they want to give back, they want to help students. And it's not just financial. Very often it's just like mentoring, where people says, if you have students that need some help, some advice, just connect them with me. Or employment, internship opportunities. They're really out there ready to help Aggies to kind of move forward to the next step in their lives.
And is there any advice for any incoming students, whether they transfer or graduate students, for them to prepare?
Yeah, I would say that the first recommendation I would give to students is, don't limit yourself to what you do in the classroom. The classroom is important. What you do and you learn in your courses, obviously, is going to be the core of your preparation. But don't stop there. Look at all the other opportunities to develop your skill and to apply your skills. Internships. I think we should have internships for every single program that we have on campus, because that not only gives you work experience, it connects you to potential employers. But even more important, I remember when I was a faculty and when I was teaching, my background is computer science, and I was teaching some material, and this question that I was getting from the students is, why do I need to know this? This seems to be so abstract. So am I ever going to need this? When you have an internship, you see how all the pieces come together. All the different things that you've learned in many different courses, they're really integrated into the skill that you need to solve problems and to actually be useful to the community, to the society, to the industry, to whatever field you're in. So internships are very important. The experiential learning is crucial because it really forces you to solve problems. And problem solving is based on applying all the things that you're learning. So once again, integrate all these different skills. But even without thinking about internships and work, even initiative that you may take on your own to go and learn something by yourself, it's very important. I like, for example, student clubs where the students in the club come together to learn, to actually go beyond the classroom and go beyond even the internship, but just learn new skills on their own. Because in the end, when you graduate and you go out in the real world, um, the reality is that you're going to change career more than once, and not change job, change careers. So you need to be able to learn by yourself. You're not gonna just go back to school every time you have to change career. So that's the most important skills that you can learn, is how to learn by yourself.
Now, as you talked a little bit about that network building, what are some of the ways that students can utilize that to the fullest? Or what are some of the ways that you've been able to utilize that?
Absolutely. So I'm still connected with the people that I went to school, because we ended up following very similar parallel paths in different universities, even in different countries. But we're still part of the same international communities. And we see each other at conferences. We see each other at workshops, at panels, and all these kind of things. So the connections that you make as a student when you're in school are connections that are going to be with you forever. They're not going to stop once you graduate and you leave. And those networks are so important, because the people you connect with are going to follow different paths. And you never know when you're going to be ready to connect with them to again work together on shared goals. Those connections may be the ones that then in turns are going to help you advance in your career when you become a professional, or vice versa. You're going to help them in their careers. So these are lifelong experiences that are going to be very important. Not only, but also, I really like to see student organizations as a mechanism to help other students. As students move through the different phases of their career at NMSU, there is a point where those students that are more senior are going to be the experts, and they're going to be their mentoring role for junior students is crucial, because junior students may not trust, they may not be comfortable in talking to a faculty member about some of the challenges that they're encountering. And there may be more comfortable to talk to somebody who look more like them, they're closer. So peer mentors, almost peer mentors, to me is really, really important to the success of students, especially when we look at students that may come to NMSU from very remote communities, rural communities. So NMSU is the big thing. Las Cruces may be the big city for them. And the first impact can be shocking. And that's, and so having those people that you can talk to, that you can trust, and those may be your peers, really.
So, one of the things that we've been asking our deans is, what was the journey to the deanship? Was this one of the goals that you had for your professional career, or something that you just kind of were thrusted upon?
No, the goal was never to be a dean. The goal was never to be even a department head, because, you know, as I moved through my career, so when I was an undergraduate student, there was a point in time where I discovered that I really liked to learn. Learning was fun to me. And I discovered that I love research. So I was introduced to research early on in my undergraduate studies, and I really enjoyed it. There was one moment I remember, that one day, it was July, where I actually solved a problem that was given to me, and it felt like uh, it opened my eye about that. That's fun. I like it. So that was so the natural step to actually going to graduate school, and then in graduate school you admire your advisors and you want to be like them. So I knew that I wanted to be a faculty. Be in academia, that was something that was clear. I didn't like administration, so obviously department head was almost like, well, I'm gonna do it because nobody else wants to do it, type of thing. But then I actually enjoyed it, because I saw the potential to be in a position to make a difference and to change things. When you're a faculty, you may change some things, but you may not have a bigger picture. And then, of course, when you're department head, you see, oh, but the dean can actually change even more things. So then became interesting to try that experience. And then also, and then it's also an issue of continuing to challenge yourself. You don't want to be too comfortable in a position, because if you become too comfortable, then you become less effective. And I noticed that when I was later on in my career as a faculty, there was a point where I felt I was too comfortable as a faculty. My classes were becoming a little bit too routine, which was not good. I didn't feel comfortable with that because I didn't feel I was challenging the students and I was not challenging myself. So moving through to the department head role, to the associate dean role, to the dean role was also a mechanism for challenging again myself, to reinvent myself, to put myself in front of new problems and making a difference, because I want to be able to change the system to be more effective and help students more effectively.
And what are some of the exciting things that a dean gets to do in the College of Arts and Sciences?
Absolutely. So being a dean's office really allowed me to do things that I really wanted to do, and I was not able to do it in different positions. For example, create new degree programs. And as a professional, I'm in touch with what are the needs of the employers, and I see that there were things missing here. We were not providing certain opportunities to students that were opportunities that were highly sought in the business world. So one of the things I did was working on new degree programs. I created a new bachelor degree program that started just this semester. I created a new master program that started last year. And I'm really proud because I think those are going to offer new opportunities to our students. I want our students to be competitive with everybody else. And I want to make sure that they get that preparation to be competitive. So there are opportunities to make a difference. Or for example, working on establishing that fund that I was mentioning earlier to help students that are in need to pay their tuition to continue their studies. When I saw that there was that issue, I really wanted to solve it right away. And being in this position, you have the possibility of making those changes and making those differences.
And how about those challenging parts? We can't have one without the other.
Honestly, uh, people. People are great and people can be difficult. And, as a dean, you do also have the role of being a little bit of the principal. So sometimes you have to kind of discipline people or just face conflicts that may arise in different units. That's a part that I don't enjoy. I know it's part of my job. I have to do it, but that's sometimes difficult. And,
Yeah.
and that's human nature. So it's not that it's not that we're bad people, or it's just that we're humans, and sometimes we make mistakes. And that's actually one thing that I always try to make sure that people understand. We are humans. We make mistakes, and making mistakes. I don't like people pointing fingers for people making mistakes. I want people to understand they make mistakes and see how we resolve the problem, how we fix it, and move forward. And so that sometimes it's difficult. That's a part that is challenging.
Now, looking back at your own educational career, what would you have done to better prepare yourself for these challenges?
Learn from it. That's the most important thing. So failures are gonna happen. So nobody's gonna live their lives without encountering failures. The most important thing is actually see the failure as another challenge. And how do we actually fix what went wrong? And how do I learn so that I'm not gonna make that mistake again moving forward? Sometimes failures are beyond your control. They are, you live in a complex world and sometimes things just don't align properly. But that is an individual instance in time. It doesn't define your life. You define your life. And you need to be able to move beyond that failure and move to the next success instead. That is going to definitely is going to be immediately after that failure. And failure are great learning experiences. As a computer scientist, we fail all the time because we make mistakes and our code is not going to work. What we do, we actually find a problem, fix it, and make it work. So and you learn from that so that you don't make that kind of mistake again as you move forward. So and also understanding that I do strongly believe that everybody has something good in them. And sometimes you see people that may make things that you think are wrong, but maybe you just need to understand a little bit more where they're coming from and work together into finding a common positive ground.
And what else would you want us to know about the College of Arts and Sciences?
I would say, first of all, as I was mentioning earlier, we are a good clearinghouse. So if people don't know where to find an answer, we are the place where we can help them finding an answer. One of the things that my office does very well, and probably students don't always realize, is that we have a person that is fully dedicated to manage scholarships. And there are so many scholarships that sometimes students don't even realize that they're available. So I would, if I were a student, one of the first things I would do coming to an NMSU is to go and meet this person, introduce myself. And so that when the need occur, I know who I should talk to explore the other options for financial support that might be available. Um, we are very good in helping students that are interested in learning how to do research. We do have actually an office with people that are just trying to develop new programs to engage students in research from any type of disciplines. So not just sciences, but art, journalism, government, all kind of areas. We launched a program that is called the Discovery Scholars Program, which is meant to match undergraduate students who are interested in research with potential mentors, faculty members, and we provide them support. And the students that participate in this program, they learn so much because they get the opportunity of solving problems, interacting with other students that have different type of interest. They have the opportunity of going to conferences, traveling, meet people, networking. So these are the kind of things that perhaps are not, we don't talk as much about, but students should take advantage of these services.
Yeah. And for those students who are still looking for their academic home, what would you talk to a student about preparing for coming to New Mexico State University or the College of Arts and Sciences?
So first of all, many departments have a lot of outreach programs, especially some during the summer camps. Those are great opportunities because the summer camp is an opportunity for somebody who is in high school or even in middle school to actually come to campus, spend some time on campus, discover that the campus is not that scary place. It's actually fun. Start interacting with other students, start interacting with faculty members, learn that the faculty members are not these scary people, but they're actually quite down to earth and they're there to help students learn. So that's a great way to actually get exposed to college, get motivated, discover that there are the meaning of the different disciplines. We do have a lot of disciplines that students may not be exposed when they are in middle school and in high school. I don't think in high school you learn about geography very much, or anthropology, or archaeology, or sociology. These are disciplines that can actually be a lot of fun and that can really open the doors to really rewarding careers. Um, One of the goals that I still need to work more on, I really want our college to talk to students from the first day as freshmen about graduate school, because the job market is becoming more and more competitive. And graduate school can be the key to make yourself more competitive and more marketable. And graduate school is actually fun. I think it's something that students should embrace. And we do have a lot of departments where it is possible to actually get a master with just one extra year on top of your undergraduate. So it's not that you have a much bigger investment of time and money. It's actually just a little extra step. And suddenly you have something on your CV that is going to put you ahead of many other students that may be competing for jobs. Yeah, exactly, exactly. No, I think a graduate degree is really valuable. And it's interesting you mentioned the Master Accelerated Program because when I just started my department head position, I was one of the first to launch that program in computer science. We used to call it the 5-year program. We just aligned the courses in such a way that in 5 years, students could get both a bachelor and a master. And I think it's a great opportunity. I wish I had it when I was a student.
And thank you, Dean Pontelli, for being a part of our conversation series.
Not really. Thank you for doing that because that's actually a new thing and it's exciting. I like it,
Yeah,
and I really hope that we can work together and actually develop some programs to help our students and make them successful.
definitely. Always let us know how we can help out your office as well, and we'll definitely keep you in when it comes to some of the things that we're looking at doing.
Absolutely, and we are here to help. So please don't hesitate.
Wonderful. Well,
Great.
thank you very much,
It's good
Dean.
to see you.
Good to see you
Take
as
care.
well. Have a great rest of the day.
You too. Bye bye.
Bye bye. And we hope you enjoyed this offering that we have for the American Indian Programs Meet the Dean series. We look forward to visiting with you once again, and we want to remind everybody during this holiday season to be kind, to be careful, and watch after one another. We'll see you again. Bye.